The court case that the ACLU was involved in here in Rhode Island, involving a resident who can't seem to get a good deal from TSA at the airport. So, yeah, what's the story?
Yeah, and this isn't a problem that's unique to Rhode Island. Every year, over 800 U.S. citizens nationwide are unlawfully detained by immigration officials. There have been cases where people have actually been deported. Most recently, there was a case involving a gentleman that had mental challenges, and he was deported to Mexico, and it took his family months to locate him and bring him back. The case in Rhode Island actually involved a lady that was stopped for, I believe, a criminal problem and placed at the ACI. She was held the whole weekend, and then when the Rhode Island court system released her, immigration placed a detainer. A detainer is a way of immigration saying, hey, don't let this person go. We have an interest in this person. And they can hold someone 48 hours beyond the state's custody determination for immigration to pick this person up and take them into custody. The problem is that immigration doesn't have jurisdiction over U.S. citizens, so they had no right to place a detainer on this woman. And so immigration went by and they picked her up. They detained her longer. She was transported in what I understand to be a very rough ride, had bruises, mental anguish, and suffered. And this happened twice to this lady. And by the second time, you figured immigration would figure it out and that they wouldn't detain her anymore. So the ACLU has taken up her cause and seeing if we can get the ICE officials to be more careful in how they lodge these detainers.
So this was an issue of having a last name that sort of triggered a response?
Well, it shouldn't be the last name, because what happens is when someone is apprehended and processed at the ACI, their fingerprints are submitted to the Immigration Service. So the Immigration Service should have been able to identify her by her fingerprints. So there should be no error. There should be no situation that, for example, that someone with a similar name or the same name is wanted. It was the fingerprints, which, as you know, are very unique.
So how are they mistaking her for a non-citizen?
Well, because often what happens is people, and by the way, this is a problem that exists with the E-Verify system, which we're going to talk about later. People may have arrived in this country as immigrants and later become citizens, which was what happened with this lady. And apparently someone in immigration failed to update their records, and so it didn't appear as if she was here legally when she was.
Okay. All right. So that case is in the courts, and we're hoping for some good news next time we talk about this one.
I hope so.
We hope so.